Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to this Digital Cargo webinars product and tools session of IATA. I'm Arnaud Meunier, and I will be your host today and one of the presenter as well. So over the course of the next hour, we'll cover different products and services of IATA and how they help with digitalization of the industry and transforming some manual processes or legacy processes into digital solutions. This is the 7th and last session of the Digital Cargo webinars that were conducted by the Digital Cargo team of IATA. All of those sessions, recordings and presentation are available on iata.org for your support, and we will be also sharing the recording of this session and its presentation as well over the coming days. Few words about the competition law guidelines that govern this and the other webinars. Today we're going to talk about products and services, but we will not be talking and discussing any element of pricing, including fares or service charges. We'll not discuss commission, allocation of customers or markets. We will not talk about marketing plans, commercial terms, or any other strategic decision. As well as relation between customers, agents, airline solution providers, and other third parties. The objective is to have also a Q&A session after each product session so that you can ask any question to our team. If any question is deemed too sensitive to be answered to the whole audience, we'll take those questions offline and get back to you individually. This meeting is recorded, as I mentioned. You will be able to ask questions through the GoToWebinar control panel that should have showed up on the right-hand side of your screen. There is also a chat function if you have any technical issue. We will be reviewing again questions after each individual product session. And we'll also save time at the end of the hour for some additional questions by the audience. The agenda for the next hour, we will start with a session on CargoIS, which is IATA's Air Cargo Market Intelligence solution. We'll then continue with the introduction of PASS, the Postal Service Account System. Followed by the new platform of IATA OneSource, which provides visibility on aviation capabilities and infrastructure. And we'll finish with two product sessions, one around DG AutoCheck, that is a solution developed to automate acceptance of dangerous goods shipments. And the last session will be about TACT, and the automation of rates, bookings, and air cargo compliance checks. So without further ado, I will hand over to my colleague Shida, who will present CargoIS. Shida, over to you.
Thank you, Arnaud. I'm sharing my screen. Just want to make sure the audience can see the screen.
Yes.
Excellent. So without further ado, my name is Shida. I'm the product manager for IATA's Air Cargo Business Intelligence, CargoIS. So we want to use 10 minutes of your time today to quickly go over what is CargoIS about, the analytic functionality we can support for you to make sound business decisions, then look at how we deliver the data to our clients today. If you have a further interest regarding CargoIS, you can reach out to me, or we'll get back to you after the webinar. So start with, what is CargoIS? CargoIS fundamentally is a tool that we provide to the entire air cargo chain for the airlines, the freight forwarder, and also the airports and other stakeholders, for you to benchmark your own performance, to look at how your business partner perform, then make sound business decision. In terms of the analytics and the decision making we can support, there are 4 different areas. We can support you to make market strategy by looking at existing trade lane at the airport to airport level, look at your performance versus the market, or looking at a new trade lane where you can enter the market to generate more revenue. Once the trade line has been decided, then you can look at the account management aspects by looking at who are the biggest or the most growing, or the combination of the two, the business partners on the given airport to airport. For example, if I'm the airlines, then I can look at the breakdown of freight forwarders and decide which of the freight forwarder I should be working with. Once the trade line, the business partner has been decided, then we can move on to analyze, either being the airline, then it's about my sales strategy with the freight forwarders, or as a freight forwarder, then it's about procuring the space from the airline to bring the maximum benefit to the shippers. All these 3 type of analysis can be done in both outbound and inbound fashion, so you can optimize your operations and also to build your own performance management system. We release data for 72 different countries and regions. India is the latest addition. We are legally cleared to release. The value of CargoWise has been recognized by the industry. We have more than 200 corporate clients worldwide. Despite the challenge of COVID-19, we continue to grow our user community, and the top 13 airlines and 11 freight forwarder are using CargoWise data today. In addition, we engage our user community and also new users in the various industry events. For example, the CNS conference in August, World Cargo Symposium in October, and also our own user forum in October. In terms of the analysis, we provide analysis based on 2 different data sources. So we have the CAS data at the master area bill level, and in addition, we provide also CargoWise based on CAS and also the direct contributor data source from the airline. So the direct contributor data source is called CDD. We produce 2 versions of CargoWise, CAS-based and CDD plus CAS enhanced. CDD is based on a give and get principle that only the contributors are entitled to receive the CDD data set. In all cases, our data is based on master area bill level data. There are no shipper and no house area bill data included. In terms of the analysis, we also have to respect the anti-competition guidelines that we provide data to 3 types of stakeholders. The third party, non-airlines, non-freight forwarder, for example, shippers, e-commerce company, airport authority. Then we provide within this access 2 different options, either the operational data only view or the charges view. And again, legal is a very important part of CargoWise for compliance reason. The user cannot combine the 2 options, which I'll quickly explain in the coming slides. In addition, we also provide data packages access to freight forwarder and also the airlines. Based on this access, to put in a visual manner, we can provide different options for different stakeholders in the air cargo chain. For the third party, for example, the airport authority, we can provide a access based on tonnage and also number of shipments to show the airport authority the breakdown of airlines and freight forwarders by month, their performance down to the airport to airport level. Then also filter the market by 22 different weight categories. This gave the airport authority an overview of how given players in their own airport or other airports perform, and then they can look at business development with the given airlines and or the freight forwarders. Then for the second option within the third party view, we provide by month, by airport pairs, the total trade line aggregated number of shipments based on master area bill, chargeable tonnage, charges broken down into 2 subcategories, weight charges, that's the transportation only cost, and also surcharges, the fuel, security, all the plus. Then the total charges divided by the total chargeable tonnage is provided as the market average rate. And this access cannot be combined with the previous third-party access. As the free forwarder, the subscriber receive an exclusive access for the free forwarder community, where we provide the data granularity by month, by airport pairs. The free forwarder is able to then look at the breakdown of the airlines to look at which business partner they should be working with. They can then benchmark their own performance versus the market average or total. However, no competitor's data will be released. This is again to adhere with the anti-competition guidelines. Also, we provide the 22 weight breaks in this view. So once the dimension is broken down by the user can look at the market measured by number of shipments, chargeable tonnage, then charges and rates. And as for the airlines, it's the same concept. The airlines receive data by month by airport pairs, the breakdown of the free forwarders, almost like a mirror of the free forwarder access. Then the airlines can benchmark their own performance versus the market aggregated, total, or average with the metrics of mass average bill, number of shipments, chargeable tonnage, rates, and charges. And the user can further break down the market using the 22 default weight breaks in CargoS. In addition to the previous dimensions matrix we provide to our user community, we also have additional features coming from the airline contributed data source, CDD, I previously mentioned. CDD is based on the give and get principle, so it's only available to those contributors with, again, legal safeguard being applied. In short, CDD provide additional visibility on the commodity that was transported and or the service handling request for different service. Also, we provide the percentage of low density shipment on the given trade lane. In addition to all these visible feature, there's the additional benefit of having CDD, which is we have now visibility beyond CAS based on the airline's contributed data source. In terms of the commodity breakdown, we provide 3 levels of breakdown. So if we imagine the market as a total, the first level is a high level. We break down by general versus special cargo. Then we can further break down special cargo either by commodity view or by service view. Within the commodity view, we have the mid-level commodity as category. So we have live animal, dangerous goods, pharmaceutical, high value, biological, then perishable. Then each of these categories can be broken down into items. Taking the example of perishable, we can further break down the perishable market into hatching eggs, cooked goods, fish, meat, fruit, and vegetable. So the user have the visibility at the item level for the commodity that was transported. And the same concept apply for the service requested. So we have 4 categories for service: vulnerable, temperature sensitive, express and time sensitive, oversized and heavy. Again, the same concept. For example, for oversized and heavy, we can break down into 3 items: volume cargo, oversized cargo, then heavy or over 150 kilos per piece. All these data are delivered to our clients via 3 different, let's call them sub-product or data delivery method. Either data is provided to the user by predefined Excel reports. These reports are hard-coded at the origin country to top 25 destinations city worldwide geographic granularity. Or if the user want to access, then analyze the data at the airport or city level, the user can opt for either the business intelligence package, which is the raw data file. So the user who have a business intelligence setup can ingest this file using your own front end to build your own different dashboards, even merge with other additional data source that's not coming from CargoS. Or the user can query our database directly for CargoS data using the CargoS web tool. With that, I summarize CargoS in a nutshell, and you can contact us via the different URLs on the screen. I park here and see if there's any questions. If there are no immediate questions, I'll pass the presentation to my colleague Kamel Chen, who is the product manager for PaaS. And over to you, Kamel.
Thank you, Shida. So I'm sharing my screen now. Can you see?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. So good day, everyone. My name is Kamil Chen. I'm the product manager for Postal Account Settlement System, and also I'm also managing the CAS platform as well. So today we are presenting to the new industry service offering to the settlement, facilitate the settlement between the airlines and the postal operators. So now we're sharing with you the video.
With e-commerce booming, postal shipments are on an upward trend. For both airlines and postal operators, there are opportunities to work together, opening up or expanding airmail revenue streams. But currently, working together is not so easy. Invoicing and settlement is complex and inefficient, fraught with discrepancies, disputes, and long collection times. Relations can become strained. Developed according to requirements drawn up by your peers, PaaS simplifies billing and settlement between airlines and postal operators. By standardizing and automating the process through a collaborative global platform, PaaS helps you increase the profitability of retail shipment by air, speed up processes, and free valuable resources to expand that business. With PaaS, airlines improve collection rates and on-time settlement of invoices to postal operators, and postal operators improve the efficiency of their finance operations. Everyone reduces the costs associated with manual operations of billing, reconciliation, and dispute management. PaaS is the unique global platform for airmail billing and settlement built by IATA. Drawing on our expertise in financial services, PaaS harmonizes processes, eliminates duplicates, and reduces discrepancies. With invoices that are easier to reconcile between airlines and postal operators, disputes are minimized and partnerships are improved and strengthened, so new business opportunities can be capitalized on. Visit iata.org/PaaS to find out why you should choose PaaS, or contact us at iatapaas@iata.org.
So from the video, you can see the what we are looking at is actually removing from the current manual one-to-one process between the airline and postal operator for the billing and settlement to a digital and common global platforms. And the concept, we introduce similar concept like what we have in CAS and to the postal airmail transportation for the airlines. And the airline will uploading the billing data to the global platform in the managed by IATA. And the system itself will do a lot of data validation in order to make sure the good quality invoice will be sending to the postal operator to collect the airmail transportation fee from the postal operator. And the system itself will also, once the invoice generation will push to the postal operator, and the postal operator can uploading their accounts reconciliation data to the system and to perform the account reconciliation in the system itself. And the airline will receive the approval of the invoice right away through the system. And at the same time, once the invoice is approved by the postal operator, or there's any gap identified the postal operator, the postal operator can perform the online dispute in the system. So it's fully automated and transparency platform to offer to the airline and then the postal operator to improve the current money process they have to collect the money from the postal operator, and also to provide the standard and the payment optional for the airlines, and in order to make the settlement is much easier. So what PaaS offering? PaaS offering the standardization and to move away all the individual different process now or different format and to the single global platform. And we also offer the unique identification to the transactions and then also participants. We centralize collection of the billing data from the airlines and then also the operation data from the postal operator. Automate the data validation to make sure the good quality data being invoicing, and then to help to minimizing the dispute and to make the online settlement become possible. And also we have a fixed calendar for the reporting, billing reporting and the invoice generation date. And also PaaS is offering the invoice reconcile for the postal operator, and that will help to speed up the current process because currently some of postal operators still using the manual process, and that will be much longer time for the invoice reconciliation. And we also provide the payment validation and an easy settlement to the airlines. And the automated online dispute process provide transparency and to speed up the dispute process to make sure the dispute is being addressed and then closed in order to close the invoice for the settlement. The system itself will provide the flexibility to accommodate the current bilateral conditions between the airline and postal operator. What the benefits we are offering to the airlines and the postal operator, and PaaS can help to increase the efficiency because we improve the quality of the invoice and data and reduce the discrepancy and error. We also offer the automation and standardization to save the time in the reconciliation, and the consistent and then also paperless process to help to support the sustainability and reduce the cost for both airline and postal operator. And also the PaaS can help to improve the cash flow because we will have a fewer dispute, improve the correction rate, and then also the streamlined payment procedures can help to be more on-time settlement become possible. It's also we're helping to stronger the partnership between the airlines and postal operator in order to help them to, especially right now, the e-commerce is booming, and that is definitely helping the airline to have an easy way to collect the money through the postal operator, and postal operator and also can have the system to do the reconciliation in the efficiency manner. What is the joining process to join the platform? So for the airline side, the platform, we have the requirement for the billing data. So the if the airline interest, we will share just looking at discuss the format, required format, and then with your system provider, and to upload the data to the testing environment to test if this is able to accepting by the PaaS, and then at the same time just sign the participation agreement and complete the online process form, submit to IATA. Then IATA will provide the full true name for the system. And if the airline would like to do the automation on the data upload, we can set it up with the SFTP or IATA INET. For the postal operator, they just need to complete the participation agreement and also the joining process. Then they can accessing PaaS to receive the invoice from the airline. If the postal operator would like to use the account reconciliation function, just need to prepare the data in the defined format for the PaaS, and then they can start using the account reconciliation function in the system. And if the postal operator would like to settle via IATA, then they just need to change the banking instruction. And for them, that they just need to pay one lump sum amount to IATA. IATA will, within the 24 hours, relocating the fund back to the airlines for the amount they are paid by the postal operator. For the system trial one, if any interest party, currently we're offering the free trial one. If you're interested, please contact me and I can provide you the training, the system demo, and then also schedule the trial one. Normally the trial one will take the 4 weeks time to complete, but if you're interested, feel free to contact us. And also we have the information in the website, iata.org/pass, or you can contact me or your local IATA representative for the demo or trial one. So here is all the presentation. Any questions? Okay, if no question, I pass the presentation to my colleague Mark for the OneSource. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Camille. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Vogel, and I'm the manager for IATA's Smart Facility program and the new OneSource platform that we released late last year. I will give you a quick run through the platform today, explain to you how it works, how you can use it to search for aviation service business partners based on your business requirements, so capabilities, infrastructure needs, qualification needs. And I will also explain to you how, as a service provider, you will be able to join the platform for free and create the profiles of your stations for each physical location so that people can find you when they search for specific locations, specific service provider types, qualifications, and equipment and infrastructure. Now, before I give you the live demo, we will share a little video with you that will introduce the platform in a nutshell.
In today's connected world, you can find a restaurant, a hotel, or a service anywhere on the globe in a few clicks. However, when it comes to aviation facilities and services, there's no easy way to find out the capabilities and infrastructure of the different industry players. For example, if your company wants to fly a shipment to a new location, you have to first identify the different facilities. Then you need to call each one to know if they have the infrastructure, equipment, services, and certifications you need. Even then, the information is often not 100% reliable, as it hasn't been validated by a trustworthy organization. This is why IATA created OneSource, the trusted platform for aviation service provider information. OneSource is the single reference for up-to-date infrastructure and certification data. All critical information has been validated by IATA to guarantee the data is accurate. Through OneSource, companies can attract new customers by creating a free profile. They will stand out from the competition by highlighting their capabilities and IATA certifications like CEIV and Smart Facility Operational Capacity. IATA OneSource brings the modern search engine experience to the aviation services industry. It allows you to find and objectively compare those business partners who better meet your needs, down to specific requirements such as temperature-controlled rooms or screening devices. OneSource enables you to find the right services where you need them. To find out more, visit onesource.iata.org.
All right. So let's have a quick look at the platform itself. So as you can see here on my screen, I'm on the landing page of the OneSource platform. It can be reached by going to onesource.iata.org, as we mentioned in the video. On the landing page, as you can see, we have quick search functionalities offered. So our users can search by location, by certifications, and by company names. We also have some other search functionalities, such as Search Assistant, which essentially asks you a couple of questions and builds a search query around those answers that you give. And of course, we also offer an advanced search that essentially lists all the possible metrics and attributes that we have on a platform so that you can completely build or search for specific service providers according to, again, certifications that we offer, station types, which cargo commodities they handle, for example, but also which handling services or cargo equipment infrastructure they have in place. So here you can then scroll down and delve deeper into each and every category, such as, for example, temperature controlled rooms, and say like that you're looking for rooms in the range of 2 to 8, and then specify even further. Before we go into that, let me just show you what else we have here on the landing page. So currently the platform lists already 6 IATA validation programs. So we have here on the left our certifications of excellence. So those are the CIV Pharma, Live Animals and Fresh certifications that IATA offers. And then on the right-hand side, we have the certifications of compliance. So those are the Smart Facility Operational Capacity certification that was also recently introduced, which is targeting cargo handling facilities specifically. Then we have IENVA and United for Wildlife as well. And of course, going forward, we will add other IATA validation programs to the platform so that we can indicate which service providers hold those in place. Further below, you can see we have also our latest validation updates. So here is basically a little carousel that shows which IATA certifications have been recently achieved by which service provider. So here you can see them running through, and you can go directly to the station profile to find out more about said company. There's another way to also, of course, a quick search if you're interested in a specific IATA certification program, such as, for example, CIV Pharma. You can simply click on here. You have a quick blip of what it is all about. This is the program itself. And then you can click on Show Certified Entities, which is, again, just a quick way to see all CIV certified companies that are currently on the market. So this will bring you to the search results page where we have our nice world map here that you can expand as well. And here you can now see the distribution of the different service providers across the globe holding a current valid CIV certification in place. Of course, you could zoom down further here, and the further down we go, the more granular, of course, our displays become. If we minimize this again, so what you can see here, we have different tabs. And those tabs represent quick filters for the different service provider types that currently can create profiles on the platform. So those are airlines, airport operators, freight forwarders, truckers, cargo handling facilities, so landside operation, shippers, as well as ramp handlers. So each of those service provider types, they have their own dedicated profile with different types of information, of course, displayed in those profiles themselves. So here, as you can see in the results page, we see basically a condensed profile pages or tabs if you want. So if you are interested then to find out more about a specific player, you can then go into more information and see all the details of this company. So before we look at one of those profiles in detail, we can just have a quick look at on the left-hand side, our filter areas where you can add or remove your search filters to refine the search results further. So as I mentioned, again, we can go in here and, for example, add temperature controlled rooms into our search. So we need to find a service provider that has 2 to 8 cooling capabilities in place, and we can further specify that we want them to have at least a segregated area within the room for pharma, and that the temperature must be mapped in this room. And then if we apply those filters, we can actually now see, okay, who are the service providers that provide those kind of infrastructure and capabilities. And then we say we actually need to find a cargo handling facility in this case. So again, we just go here on our quick filter, and then we have the list of entities that satisfy our business requirements in this case. So if we now have a look at, for example, Swissport in Basel, We can now see the detailed profile page that they have in place. We see the geolocation on the Google Maps here on the right-hand side. We can see again what's their service provider type. In this case, it's a cargo handling facility, and exactly where they're located. We then see which IATA validation programs are applicable to this cargo handling facility type. In this case, it would be the 3 CIV programs and Smart Facility Operational Capacity. And only one of those certifications is currently achieved. That would be CIV Pharma. If we hover over that certification emblem itself, we see the certification ID, we see the issue date, and we see when the certification is about to expire. So this information is 100% real time. So that means whenever a certification expires, the emblem, of course, is going to be grayed out if it's not renewed in time. Same when you receive a new certification, it will automatically be listed here on the platform. Below that, we see which cargo commodities are offered by the service providers. In this case, we see they do handle general cargo, dangerous goods, perishables, and pharmaceuticals. As you can see, we have 2 different color codings here. So the black one basically indicates, if you hover over it, that the information has not been validated by IATA. The green one, however, shows you that there was a validation executed, in this case by CIV Pharma, so which CIV Pharma is applicable to, of course, the handling of pharmaceuticals. So therefore, we can say that the information about that they handle pharmaceuticals is validated through one of our programs. Below that, we see the station overview, how many employees they have, if they choose to share it, whether they're on airport or not. And of course, below we see what's the airport they're operating at, or in case if you're a freight forwarder or a trucker, it is simply the closest airport to your operation. Then below that, you can find a list of all the handled airlines that are basically using this cargo handling facility in this location. So this is a very critical piece of information because it's the first step to create more transparency in our industry by actually showcasing to potential business partners or customers, not just which airlines you want to use and how qualified they are in transporting certain commodities, but also which service provider or business partners are they using in a specific location, so that you can then see, okay, airline X uses, in this case, Swissport, which has cold room capabilities and have a CIV certification in place. So again, this is now giving you more clarity on what kind of service levels you can expect on specific trade lanes. Below that, we have an area for a gallery where the company can upload up to 10 pictures of their operations, but also we list here all the photos of their equipment that has been validated through IATA's validation programs. So that brings me to the point below here. So as you can see, we have here a big section of equipment and infrastructure that is categorized in subcategories, which would be here facility equipment and infrastructure, temperature control, working areas, live animals, and then also we have, of course, electronic system capacities. So all those informations are considered business critical. So it's very important for us that our platform only lists validated information when it comes to business critical pieces of data. So that means there is no self-proclamation or no declaration of certain capabilities, qualifications, and services, but only through the use of the different IATA certification and validation programs or our new remote validation can a company upload information about their equipment, infrastructure, and their qualifications in terms of IATA certification programs. So this in turn then allows the user of the information to actually utilize it for business decision-making processes because they can trust that the information has been validated. So if we're gonna have a look now, for example, here at the temperature control, if you remember, we searched for a 2 to 8 cold room that is temperature mapped. So we see here that Swissport in Basel does have 2 to 8 and 15 to 25 cold room capabilities in place. If we now click on the details, we can now see all the corresponding attributes for each of those cold rooms. So we can see there's 3 cold rooms with a 2 to 8 temperature range in place. We can see the exact storage room dimensions. You can even see what kind of ULDs can be positioned there and how many positions are there available. And then, of course, we can see all the information about whether it's temperature mapped, whether an alarm system is in place, readouts can be made available to the customers, and so on and so forth. And then at the end here, you can see we have an emblem here, which is CIV Pharma in this case. So that indicates here that this information has been validated by CIV Pharma in this place. Of course, if there would have been another certification program that also validates this particular piece of equipment, then this information would also be displayed here. So again, there's a full transparency of what program was used to validate a certain piece of information. Now, lastly, I want to show you that we also offer the possibility to compare apples to apples really with the platform. So that means that you can compare service providers of the same type. So of course, we can then compare only cargo handling facilities against other cargo handling facilities. If I just add, for example, here Cathay Pacific in Hong Kong to my comparison pane, we see then here we have 2 additional slots where we can add other companies. So we can, for example, add here now Swissport, since we looked at them, as well as ALA. And then we compare those 3 companies next to each other. And again, what we get is like a quick comparison side by side of the 3 companies. We see instantly which IATA certification programs they do have in place. We see which commodities they can handle. And then if we scroll down to the equipment and infrastructure, so in this case, we have information about the cold rooms here available. So as you can see here, quickly you see which of those companies have freezers in place or pharmaceutical processing areas. And then if you expand those sections, you can now here again compare directly the different cold rooms side by side and see, okay, which ones have dangerous goods dedicated areas, for example, in place, and so on and so forth. All right, so this is it for a quick overview of the site itself. The last thing I want to show you is how do you actually join the platform as a company. So we have here our join now buttons. If you click on there, you see 5 quick steps on how you connect to the platform application. We also have a user guide here that explains all the steps in detail. But in a nutshell, we ask you to go and register to the IATA customer portal if you have not done so yet. In general, once you are in the IATA customer portal, you basically need to complete your level 2 registration, which means you connect yourself with your company itself. If your company doesn't have an account with IATA yet, you can create it, of course. And after this is done, you can then search for the OneSource application in our customer portal and then access the actual application itself. And there you will then be able to create your different stations within the system, which will then come to us for verification. And after it has been approved, it will be going online and you get an online notification as well. Okay. So with this is my short introduction to OneSource. So let's see if there's any questions. All right. So if there is any questions after the fact, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. On the platform itself, you can see down on the button, we have a contact us here where you can reach us directly or reach out directly to my contacts, which will be provided in the slide deck. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Mark. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Ben Behannon. The product I will be presenting to you today is IATA DG AutoCheck. So let's look at the agenda for the session today. First, I will give you an introduction to DG AutoCheck. I will explain to you why we have DG AutoCheck, what are the key pain points it aims to address, and how it brings value to your operations. So this will be followed by a live product demo, where I will try to give you a flavor of the product and its key functionalities. And finally, we will have time for some questions. So we will aim to do this in the next 20 minutes, so you can relax and enjoy the session. So in the previous sessions, you have seen how digital solutions like Cargo IS, PaaS, and OneSource brings value to the various aspects of your business. And in the session that follows, you will learn about TACT Air Cargo solutions also. But in this session, we will look at a different area of the air cargo business, which is dangerous goods. Now, dangerous goods means different things for different people. For some, it means lithium batteries. For others, it means paints and chemicals. For some others, explosives and radioactives. But for the staff who perform acceptance checks, it usually means regulations, safety, and standards. Unfortunately, it also means a lot of paper. Because as much as we have progressed in other areas in cargo, the DG acceptance process remains very much manual and paper-based. So a few years ago, some stakeholders they approached IATA to help find a solution, with the focus being on using technology to modernize the DG processes. So IATA, working together with the industry, including airlines, freight forwarders, and ground handlers, developed the solution in the form of DG AutoCheck. So what is DG AutoCheck? It is an automated compliance solution for performing dangerous goods acceptance checks. It uses a shipper's declaration as input. It accepts both the paper declaration as well as the electronic declaration, or the eDGD. Essentially, what DG AutoCheck does is it takes the data on the DGD and it checks for compliance against all the applicable rules in the DGR, and it presents the results to the CAT6 user. It does the document check and it helps the CAT6 user to perform the physical check. So overall, it enables an end-to-end digital process. In simple terms, what DG AutoCheck does is that it replaces the paper checklist with a digital and automated checklist. So clipboards and paper checklists become a thing of the past as they're replaced with digital tools. Now, as you might have got a clue from the previous slide, DG AutoCheck is available in two versions, a web version and a tablet version. The web version is used for the document check, and the tablet version is used for the physical check in the warehouse. In terms of features, DG AutoCheck comes with all the bells and whistles of a digital solution. Firstly, it is web-based, so it can be accessed remotely, something handy in these days of lockdowns and teleworking. System is eDGD ready, and not only that, it can process eDGD as an input, but even when you use a paper DGD, DG AutoCheck can generate the eDGD as an output at the end of the acceptance check. And in fact, some of our customers use this to feed the DG data into their NOTOC systems. By default, DG AutoCheck uses the IATA standard checklist, but you can also set up your own custom checklists. You can also manage certifications in DG AutoCheck so that only users with a valid CAT6 certification are allowed to perform acceptance checks. Now, there are a lot of other functionalities and we cannot cover all of them today, but if there is one takeaway, it is that the system is flexible and it can be configured based on your needs. And finally, like icing on the cake, is business intelligence reporting. As you know, business today is driven by data. So if I ask you about your operations, for example, if I ask you, do you know which are your stations that handle the most radioactives, or what are your top DG routes, or who are your top DG shippers, or what are your top failure reasons? Now, I'm sure you could find all of this information, but likely it would mean some time and effort to gather and consolidate all the data. But with DG AutoCheck, all of that becomes easy. Why? because DG AutoCheck comes with a full suite of BI reporting features and capabilities. So you can pull up all the required data with just a few clicks. In fact, one of the most valued aspects of DG AutoCheck, especially by the senior management of our customers, is the visibility that DG AutoCheck brings into their operations. Whether managing a single station or multiple ones, the information of your entire network becomes available at your fingertips. And of course, with the wealth of data which is available, it enables you to react faster and identify opportunities where you can optimize your operations. For example, from the data, if you see there is a particular customer who is consistently having the same issue on a particular route, you could make the necessary process adjustments to have it rectified. This will improve your customer service, enhance your customer satisfaction, which, as you know, is priceless. So in DG AutoCheck, there is a full set of built-in dashboard reports. And additionally, you can also download the full data set and create as many custom reports as it is needed for your business. In terms of benefits, DG AutoCheck enables your staff to do the acceptance check faster with a consistent check quality, which means you don't have to worry about staff being tired or making a mistake anymore. And with most of the manual tasks being automated, your staff will be more productive and happier, enhancing employee job satisfaction. So if you look at it all together, DG AutoCheck makes your jobs easier. It enhances visibility of your operation. It improves customer satisfaction. It results in happier and productive staff. What more could you ask for, right? Well, there is one more, and that is safety. Over and above everything else, safety remains the #1 priority for DG AutoCheck. DG AutoCheck always refers to the latest regulations. Any addendums and updates are reflected immediately. Secondly, it takes care of all the routine manual tasks so that the Cat 6 staff, they can focus on the exceptions and, more importantly, the safety aspects. Thanks to these and more, DG AutoCheck is trusted by leading companies around the world, including airlines, ground handlers, and the list keeps growing every day. With Dynata and United, the latest to join the DG AutoCheck family, there are several big names currently engaged with us in the various stages of joining. Now, while our customers come in different shapes and sizes and geographical reach, there is something common among all of them. First is their desire to use technology and digital solutions to modernize their process. And secondly is the mindset, where there is an openness to embrace new and better ways to do things. And to conclude my presentation, I share with you a quote from Mr. Darwin, who reminds us that while change is inevitable, our response to change remains the key to success. Thank you very much for your attention. Next, we will look at the product itself. So you've heard so much about it, and now we will look at it in live scenario. So remember that due to the time available, we can only have a sneak peek today, but you can of course contact us later for a full demo. So I'm going to share with you my screen here now. I hope all of you will be able to see that. So this is the login screen of DG AutoCheck. Once you log in, you are taken to the DGD library. This is the home page of DG AutoCheck. So here you will have all the DGDs which have been uploaded into the system, both which have completed the acceptance check as well as those which are pending the acceptance check. So to start an acceptance check, you would click on the Airwaybill number. You are taken onto the main screen, and this is where all the user actions takes place. So on the right hand side, you will see this is the shipper's declaration, which is been uploaded into DG AutoCheck. So here it's got 4 UN numbers, it's got some compliance issues. We will see how DG AutoCheck will handle that. Now, firstly, this is a paper DGD, which has been scanned and uploaded into DG AutoCheck in either a PDF or an image format. Now, during the upload process, there is an OCR engine that converts that image into data. And that data is what you see on your screen here. So first we'll verify that the information matches that on the paper DGD, and then you're ready to do the document check. Of course, this will be access to this document check will be granted only to users who have a valid Cat6 certification. So here you will see some high level information which is pre-populated. The checklist will be automatically selected based on the operator. And of course, you can set up your own custom checklists in as well. And then you click save and start. And this is when the magic happens. So what system does at this point is that it takes the data which is on the DGD and it does an automated compliance check. It checks against all the applicable rules in the DGR and it presents the results in the form of the completed checklist. So here on the left hand side are the various sections. So you will see some of them have the green icon. It means that it has passed all the compliance checks. If you see there is a red icon, it means that there is a compliance issue which is found. And if you see the black icon, that means there is some user action to be done. So you will quickly, you can answer the questions which needs an input. So for example, you would look at it. So if it's an available, you would quickly look at that, provide the response. And when there is a variation, you will find the details provided. You will quickly verify that information, answer the question, and then you're done. All the rest of the aspects are taken care by the system. So here you have the data on the DGD. Now there are certain rules in the DGR which specify, for example, what is the maximum quantity allowed based on the aircraft type, what is the packing that needs to be followed, are there things which are forbidden, etc., etc. So all of this is automatically checked by DG Auto Check. This icon, it means that it is auto checked. So, and when it does that, when it finds some compliance issue, it will flag it to the Cat6 user. So let's look at the compliance issues which is found today. So here, if you see, it has found that the maximum quantity has been exceeded for that particular UN number, for that particular packing instruction, for the packing group, for the aircraft type. Then if you see the next one here, it has found that it is actually the substance which is given as under the technical name, it's actually a listed substance, and in fact it is forbidden. So this is highlighting. So probably the shipper was trying to hide it under the technical name, but there is no escape from DG Auto Check. It finds that and it alerts the Cat6 user. The third compliance issue it has found, so when there are multiple different types of dangerous goods which are packed together, there are certain calculations, there's a formula which needs to be applied. System automatically does those calculations and provides the result. So it has found a compliance issue. So starting from a simple check, like checking for whether the UN number, the proper shipping name is correct, quantities is within the limits, to checking if it's right packaging, to checking if it is forbidden, to doing complex calculations like the Q value, everything is taken care by the system. So gone are the days when you refer back to the 1000-page DGR manual and try to find that information. So there is technology available and you use that technology to make your process more easier, more faster, more efficient. So at this point, of course, you complete the document check and then you proceed to the packaging check. So this is the point, of course, you know, DG Auto Check is available in two versions. You have a tablet version. So this is the point where you take the tablet loaded with DG Auto Check. You see the exact same screen. You proceed for the packaging check. For each of the package, system shows the required marks and labels. So there are marks and labels which are required as per the DGR. And what the system does is it checks using the data. It automatically checks all the applicable rules and it tells the user what they need to see on the package in front of them. So they don't need to refer back to the DGR anymore. They just look at this. For each package, the requirements are checked automatically by the system and then presented to the Cat6 user. They just need to check, are these present? If anything is missing, then that they will indicate in the check. They can also take pictures. So for example, if there is a label missing, if the package is damaged, they can take a picture, they can attach it to the check and then send it together back to the shipper. Once they've done the check, of course, if there is one failed question, then the check is failed. Then the complete acceptance check report will be generated. So you will have the high level information, the failed questions, and then the complete checklist. And of course, this is available in a digital format. So if you avoid the printing, then you can save a few trees as well. You can also quickly send the report directly to the customer from the application itself. You can attach all the acceptance check report, the resources, the photographs, anything you've taken, and send it directly to the customer. And you can also download the data. So you started with the paper DGD. At the end of the check, now you can download that dangerous goods data. And of course, in DG AutoCheck, you are provided with two options to do that. If your system supports the XML, the XSDG, which is the eDGD, then you can use that, which is used by some of our customers. Some of our customers as well use the CSV format, where the data is then input and then uploaded into their system. So that's in a nutshell how you do an acceptance check using DG AutoCheck. There are many more features, but I will quickly show you the reports feature as well. This is the business intelligence aspect which we talked about. So these are the dashboard reports which you see. The first is at a company level. You can see the number of checks which are done. You can see how many have passed, how many have failed, how much percentage of you have radioactive checks, what is the average duration of your checks. You can also see that information at an office level. So for each of that office, you can see, you can compare. With that, you have the information, of course, at the user level as well. And then you have the option to export the data. So, and using that data, then you can create your own custom reports as much as you need, depending on your business requirements. You can create those reports. So it gives you the complete set of information. So it gives you all the details from the DGD. It tells you the status of the check, and also it gives you all the dangerous goods information. So then this gives you a wealth of information to do your own analysis. And last but not the least is the failure reporting. Now, this is a new feature which was introduced into DG AutoCheck early last year. So here you will see as well, you can see the failures. So you can see the percentage of each month. You can see how much is failed due to the documentation check, how much is failed due to the packaging check. You will see the percentage. You will also have a drill down on, okay, is it because of the quantity? Is it because of the all packed in one? You will be able to drill down. And of course, you will also see what are your top failed questions, which are in the document side, as well as during the physical check. So this is just a small snapshot of that. You can also export the complete data set, and that gives you access to information about which shipper it is. You will be able to see which area it is, which question is failed. Is it failed by the system, or is it failed by the Cat6 user? You will have all this information, and this is where, like I mentioned, you have an opportunity. You see that there is a consistent failure by shipper. Then you can go back to them, you can try to rectify that, and that will ensure their shipment gets flown as booked. And of course, you can improve your customer satisfaction. So that's very quickly about DG AutoCheck. You can, of course, feel free to contact us if you would like to have a more detailed demo, or if you would like to have a free trial as well. There are certain conditions, but we're happy to, if you're serious about it, we're happy to offer you a free trial as well. So feel free to contact us for more information on that. So that concludes my presentation here. Now I will quickly look at if we have some questions here. So I see there is a question, can DG AutoCheck interface with any system through API? The answer is yes, system is capable of integration through API. There is a second question as well. Could you please share with us more about the OCR functionality? Sure, very happy to do that. So system uses one of the best OCR engines which is available. It's called Abby. It's a very powerful OCR engine. What we have done with DG AutoCheck as well is we have made it even better. So there is a smart layer of smart logic, which is added on top of that OCR, which is very precise based on the learnings which we do. And then the OCR is very sharp, very precise, and as well system does in an intelligent manner where the scan quality is not optimal. System also does auto corrections, and it highlights the errors to the users as well, so that that is covered as well. Okay, so these are the two questions that you have. Thank you very much for your attention. And now I will hand the floor over to my colleague, Arnaud Munier, who's the product manager for TACT Air Cargo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben, for this great presentation about DG AutoCheck. So it's a very good transition to the presentation that we'll now view about the TACT Air Cargo solution. Similarly to DG AutoCheck, the journey of TACT comes from a paper-based environment, which is obviously very much outdated. And COVID-19 has further increased the need of true digital and integrated solutions. So we have started this journey of the revamping of the TACT Air Cargo solutions and basically moving forward with new digital and automated solutions for our customers, which are basically any air cargo stakeholder out there. So we'll have a few slides, and then I will also take you online to view some of the latest developments we have made and are going to release in the coming days. And we will obviously take any questions that you may have. So the vision we have in TACT is to build basically a digital and integrated platform that will have multiple modules or scopes, denied parties and sanctions, export compliance, industry standards, operator and state variances, quote and book, tariff and rates, and air cargo schedules. So you may think that the scope is quite large. Historically, indeed, TACT has had a broad scope of content and information. But it's all based around the shipment life cycle. And for each step of the shipment life cycle, what do you need to know as an exporter? What do you need to know as a freight forwarder, as a ground handling agent, as an airline? And what do you need to do afterwards? Similarly to what Ben presented, the importance of the operational integration and automation and digitization of processes is key for productivity gains. And the way we design new developments and new products is around the efficiency of shipment processing. If any development and solution we deliver makes your team save minutes per shipment at the end of the day or at the end of the month, there is a huge productivity gain for your organization. So that's what we're striving to do, and that's what we have been focusing on over the last 2 years, and will be focusing on over the next years as well. So in a nutshell, what do we have already today and what we are working on? So the TACT Air Cargo solutions today are comprised of two main products. One is TACT, very familiar to many of you in the air cargo industry for many, many years. TACT has airline and industry tariff, as already industry standards, operator and state variances. We have operational dashboards that we released last year as part of our COVID-19 response. We integrate also in real-time air cargo schedules for about 1,000 airlines. And we added recently in 2021 a denied parties and sanctions list check. We're now working on two additional modules around export compliance, mainly around documentary requirements based on commodity types, and also trade information. and operational alerts, which can be internal or external, internal to your organization, external for a wide and public audience. So this is what we're working on at the moment. The other product part of the Air Cargo solutions is IATA Net Rates, which allows for ad hoc rate request and booking, Air Cargo rates management and distribution across different rate types, and also the same model of Air Cargo schedules. Both solutions are designed for the modern world. Online first, API next. So accessible anywhere, anytime, through any device, no installation required. Your email, your password, you go online, you get access to it wherever you need. APIs have been developed as well to support integration with system, whether it's a transportation management system provider, an airline system provider, or any other system. At the moment, for TACT, the API covers the tariff component, and for net rates covers not only the rates available in the solution, but also a number of endpoints related to the management of your account and what you can do with the solution, similarly to what you would do with it online. And we design our solutions to be modular, to be able to support new content integrations. I was referring to the export compliance, for example. This would be a new module to TACT, which doesn't need a rework of the entire solution, but just becomes a natural addition to the solution. So net rates, and we'll see in a few minutes online how it looks like, is a rates management and distribution solutions. Airlines, GSAs can use the solution to manage rates, but most importantly, to distribute all their rates to all their stakeholders. We're talking mainly freight forwarders, but also other third parties they want to share data with. And on the right-hand side, you see the scope of the rates. We go from market to contract to surcharges to ad hoc rates and bookings. Freight forwarders naturally have a lot of interest in that solution because it allows for central access to air cargo rates and also to be able to place quote requests with different airlines and place bookings as well. The objective is to make that solution accessible to the greatest number of freight forwarders and users worldwide. It has already a global reach, but it still needs to grow over the coming years to become the de facto reference and industry gateway for rates. I'll skip those slides. We'll see online how the solution looks. And we'll focus a little bit more on TACT. So first and foremost, TACT is based on a major activity, which is sourcing. We're talking sourcing of the content from our member airlines and non-member airlines, governments, airports and ground handling agents, but also subject matter experts and IATA working groups. IATA working groups come with industry standards, recommendations. Subject matter experts drive those industry groups to provide the guidance to the industry. And this sourcing activity run by our sourcing team here in Amsterdam allows us to collect a great amount of information, to aggregate it, edit it, and transform it into a readable and understandable content for our end users. What you see on the right-hand side is the list of media of distribution of the content. The primary vehicle is our online web-based solution. We also have an API, as I mentioned, but we also deliver the data in other formats, flat file for the tariff. We still print a rules manual for those who need that. We have discontinued the tariff manual recently, after almost 7 decades. And we also have operational dashboards available, publicly accessible through our solution. So what's coming next for TACT? We will be releasing in September the integration of a new module, which is the Cargo Tariff Coordinating Conference resolutions. So this is a much needed addition to TACT. It explains the applicability of the industry and airline tariffs, also the deviations or variations at the country or operator level, and fundamental rules about the understanding of tariffs. We have also released a compliance module in March, which focuses on sanctions and restrictions from different government entities. And we're looking into individuals, but also organizations. We started with the release of the OFAC, specially designated nationals, SDN, and we have added in June the Bureau of Industry and Security, BIS, lists. And as you can see below, the next releases for that module will happen in September and October with an expansion of the scope and of the sanctions list. And we'll keep growing that module over time. It is particularly useful for freight forwarders, but also of organizations that want to screen new customers, new partners in certain countries. And depending on where you are as an organization, some specific sanctions or restrictions may apply and would need your attention before processing a air cargo shipment. We'll now move to the online solution, where I will introduce the new search functionality of TACT Online, which is designed around the shipment itself. And I will then explain also what we're working on next for TACT. So I'll now switch screen to our online solution and refresh the access to the page. Seems it's not loading, so let's give it a second. Okay, if it doesn't load, I will revert back to the slides for the overview and come back to it. Oh, okay, now it's up and running again. Apologies for this little delay. So over the coming days, this new user interface of TACT will be released, and starting from the home page, it will be different, where we will display in this home page the latest and greatest updates throughout the solution, whether they are updates related to TACT, updates related to airlines or countries as well. And we'll now have a look at the new TACT Online landing page. Again, we have the carousel at the top. Our customers, which are used to the classic navigation of TACT, will still be able to do that through the tabs at the top of the screen. This will be simplified, and similarly, we have simplified where you can see your account information and support links. Now let's have a look at a specific search in the solution. So the way we have redesigned the search in TACT Online is really around the shipment. So if you're looking into information to export a specific shipment, or you're looking into moving this shipment from a city in the Netherlands here, Amsterdam to New York, with Air Canada, what do you need to know? What is the information that you need to look into? So the search engine will basically give you all the results you need and all the information you need for that specific shipment. You can expand the scope of your search, including the commodity type. You can also add the shipment details in there. And you will see that you have multiple tabs here that will list different aspects of the data. First, what applicable tariff exists for this route with Air Canada in a different layout than it is today, much more easy to read. The second tab will already filter out based on what you are searching for, the rules for Canada, for Air Canada, for the Netherlands, and for the US as a country of destination. And this will be refined over time so that the more detailed your search is, the more detailed the results also are. The Air Cargo Schedules tab will also return the results based on your search. So again, it will be a lot faster to filter out the result that you need. And in this case, we can see the schedule applicable for Air Canada between Amsterdam and Newark. And we see the details of the flights, of the routing, and of the equipment, the aircrafts being used. The last tab around denied parties will allow you to refine search to include the name of an entity or an individual in Canada, in the Netherlands or in the US, and be able to search. This shipment search is definitely a great improvement for TACT and a very different way of searching for information versus how it is at the moment. And this is really the first step towards a shipment check solution. Now go back to the slides and put them up again. So where are we going next? The next frontier is really the cargo compliance auto check solution. The first stage and step is what you have just seen. How with a few shipment details can I return exactly the information I need to move this shipment? And the next system is integration with your operating system to allow you to be able to check an airway bill, house airway bill or master airway bill. Solution that will be aligned with operational standards. We're talking Cargo IQ. We're talking technology standards with one record. And supporting your own organization compliance system and own rules. As Ben was just saying before, really the key is how we can accelerate shipment processing and provide guidance to your employees when they process shipments. There is a wealth of regulations out there, and it's very complicated and difficult to know it all and even to find the information that you need fast enough. And what we're building really is the right solution that will accelerate compliance checks and make your team focus on the customer experience rather than trying to find a specific detail in a 500 pages manual, for example. And this solution, and I will conclude with that, that we started to build last year as a first proof of concept, will allow really a check of many data points across the house airway bill and the master airway bill. We're talking checks of the different codes, whether it's an airport code, an airline code, or a ULD code, for example. It's also a check about the denied parties and sanction lists for the different participants to that shipment. And this is what you see on screen. The first level POC was around the denied parties and sanctions last year. And you see some examples of shipments with their details and the different parties that have been checked in by the engine in an automated manner. And all of that is based around exchange of automated messages. So it's not a manual upload of information. It can be done, of course, but the intent is really about system integration so that directly the data can be checked and retrieved in real time. So this is what we are working on as the next stage and the next frontiers. This is a really important endeavor for the development of TACT, and we believe that this is something that the industry is ready for. DG AutoCheck has proven that already, that with the right combination of the industry expertise and the combination of the right technology, Ben was indicating the type of OCR system being used as being state of the art. Nowadays, this is something that we can replicate for the rest of the air cargo shipments and leverage also the experience and expertise derived from the DG AutoCheck product. Conscious of time, I will now conclude my own presentation. We will be at the CNS Partnership Conference in Miami, end of August, also the World Cargo Symposium in October. You can find also the links to register to those two events in the presentation and on iata.org. And we're going to have another webinar for TACT early September 2021. You have the link to register here already, where we're going to present the new modules that will be added in the fall regarding the cargo tariff conference resolution, the expansion of the cargo compliance denied party module, and also the progress on the other projects for 2022. We will also have webinar for IATA net rates early September, and watch news because there's going to be some announcement over the coming days also related to IATA net rates. This concludes the session about TACT. I will quickly have a look if there are any questions for me or for our team members of the other products. Right, I don't see many questions that have been coming through. Okay, nothing specific as far as I can see. Ben has answered also the questions he had received. So obviously, if you still have any question, you will be able to contact our teams either through the links provided in the presentations, also through IATA or through the regular channels, the customer portal, and the different product forms available. We obviously remain at your disposal. And on that note, we will conclude this product session for the Digital Cargo. We thank you all for joining this session, and if you have joined also the other session on behalf of IATA, we thank you for attending this digital event. It's a bit different from previous years, but we trust that the different sessions over the last month have provided a lot of good information for our cargo stakeholders to better understand what's happening in the market, what IATA is working on the cargo side, and how we can support the air cargo industry. So on that note, unless one of my colleagues wants to add something, we will close. So asking my colleagues if you have anything else you want to share with the audience. It doesn't seem so. All right, so we'll be closing. Thank you again, everybody, for joining today, and we wish you all a very good day.